All right, so today we're going to be talking about Nightwing leaping into the light. I just got done reading this storyline, and I've heard Tom Taylor's writing for this character is amazing. And I've always loved the character of Nightwing in expanded media, like the Arkham games and the animated series. And I really loved him in Young Justice. But recently, I'm like, I want to start reading some comics more, get into comics more, and I decided, why don't I go check out Nightwing? Why don't I start reading some Nightwing comics? And I didn't know where to start, so I looked online, and they said, this is a good modern jumping on point. And do I think it's a good modern jumping on point? Well, watch this video to find out. So this comic follows Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, back at it again, and he apparently went through like a period of time where like he was Rick Grayson or something. That storyline was trash, which actually made me not want to check out Nightwing comics for a while because I didn't know whenever that storyline ended. But some comic fans probably could comment and explain to me the whole Rick Grayson storyline. But this storyline alone is pretty good because it just sets Nightwing back into Bloodhaven, and I didn't really know too much about Bloodhaven. I've heard it mentioned, especially its notable mention in Matt Reeves's The Batman. So I will say that was always cool to hear in that universe, but I will say getting a feel for Bloodhaven in the comics is pretty cool, and that's one thing the Nightwing comic does well. And it's like Bloodhaven is so tied to the character of Dick Grayson, and you feel it in this story. It's like Gotham being tied to Batman. It's like Metropolis being tied to Superman. It's like Hell's Kitchen being tied to Daredevil. That's what the author does well. Like Tom Taylor does a great job making you feel like Nightwing is appreciated and he loves the character. I love that they bring in Tim Drake, who I feel like has been shafted in most media and most shows and movies because of Damian Wayne. I grew up in a weird era where weird let me fix that. Weird era where Tim Drake was famous, he was popular, and then Damian Wayne spawned in out of nowhere, like 2013, and then he's the main Robin. So that's kind of where I know Tim Drake from, is like animated series and everything in between. And I did read some of the Detective Comics run that Rebirth had way back in the day, but other than that, I don't really know much about Tim in the comics, but I do like what we got with Dick Grayson and Tim Drake's dynamic. And you start to feel them as friends and brothers, as he is later called in the story. Like they call him a brother and they call each other brothers. And I love that aspect of this comic. I also love the inclusion of Barbara Gordon being confirmed and solidified as the true love interest for Nightwing, which has always been a pairing and ship I've liked, I've wanted forever, and it's nice to see it in comics. I know that they dated a while in the comics, and I like that Barbara Gordon is back as Oracle. I love her as Batgirl, but even I got to admit seeing her back as Oracle is pretty cool because I feel like Oracle fits Barbara Gordon's personality a little more. But hopefully later in this run, we get to see more of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. Some things I was mixed about is I was very mixed about some of the paneling at times. Some of it is very dynamic, very good, but sometimes I feel like the paneling took me out of the story to try to process what I'm seeing. And if I'm the only one that has that problem, that just might be a me thing. But no, like sometimes like some action scenes would flow perfectly, and like then it would take me a while to like kind of consume what I just saw, the images I just saw, and then I'm trying to like pair it with the text. So I did have to go back and read some stuff to understand some plot points because how spectacular like the paneling is. But my problem, like I said, is I get distracted easily by the stunning visuals, and the visuals in this comic are amazing. The artwork is very well done. It is done by Bruno Rinaldo. So Bruno Rinaldo does a good job with the artwork. It is beautiful. It is amazing. It feels like a mix of like some golden age like artwork, Silver Age comic artwork with the vibrant colors, and the coloring is amazing in this, by the way. The coloring is spectacular in this book. But I will say it does kind of get a little too intricate and a little too deep, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's cool, but like I said, when you're trying to read the text, sometimes you get a little distracted, but I like how it shows that they're playing with the comic medium. So overall, I really enjoyed this book. I think it's great, and I like what it's setting up, and I want to read the next few volumes so I can do a full retrospective on this series, because so far I'm really enjoying it. I literally couldn't put like this thing down ever. I couldn't put this down while reading it because it was that good. Like when you're reading it, you feel so much enjoyment, you feel so much fun. And if you were curious about Nightwing, you are wanting to get into reading his comics, you've been a fan of him with the Arkham games and all that, highly recommend this comic. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully you like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading more frequently on here. I'll be doing my best to keep consistent content going, and I would like to try to evolve over time. So the fact you watched this video, I really appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions for Nightwing comics or any other comic characters you're curious about my thoughts on, or you want to see me start reading or getting into, please comment below and let me know.